All right, friends here in the audience and friends at home, we are here for the annual Latka Hamantash and Debate, number 72. It's been so many years of great debates. Yay! And if you can't remember the last one, well, okay, this was the first time we're doing this. That is going to be a new tradition at Mount Zion. I am so excited because for our Latka Hamantash and Debate, first of all, oh no, I'm probably going to steal your thunder, so I'm not going to do any of that. Never mind. So, Elise Cole grew up at Mount Zion, and she became a comedian. I remember her when I first got here. I was a youth group advisor, and she was in youth group, and she was doing gymnastics, and every time we could see her doing upside down, all kinds of things. Can you still do that? Maybe? No? Yeah. B'shah tova, b'shah tova. So we're super excited that Elise is here representing Lakas or Hamantash, of course. And from the other side of the river, Max Hornstein representing the Latka. And I haven't known Max as long as Elise, but a pretty long time, and I've watched you grow up, and it's really exciting to have you here as a comedian as well in our community, two comedians, young adults in our community, showing us how to have a fun time and a great debate. And moderating our debate is Michael Tortorello. And Michael, I've known you since you were 35 or something like that. It's been such a wonderful time getting to know you. We're so excited you are here. He is a member of our congregation, a father of Bee and Bear, and we are so glad that you are here to lead us, and I will turn it to you. Take it away. You may take off your mask. Caution, careful, careful.
I'm going to sit down. Do you mind? Is this working? Okay, let's do this. Ready? Hanukkah and Purim. Purim and Hanukkah and Purim. Purim and Hanukkah. Two beloved Jewish holidays. 2 more days in our weird calendar cycle when the Messiah doesn't come. In the scheme of our great faith, they are minor holidays. On Hanukkah, we look back on a time when our more cosmopolitan neighbors invited us to join them in some clothing-optional wrestling matches. And as practitioners of a monotheistic faith, we said, "Nyeh." And then, feeling jilted, the Greeks trashed our temple. At Purim, we look back on a time when a Jewish girl finished first in a beauty pageant and, for a prize, won the right to marry the dumbest king in Persia. The girl, now queen, realized she had no Jewish friends to hang out with, so she filled up her days scheming with her cousin, which actually sounds a lot like being Jewish and a teenager in a place like St. Paul. Hanukkah and Purim, Purim and Hanukkah. What's wrong with us, and why doesn't anyone like us? Why can't the Jewish people go along to get along? What if we tried clothing-optional wrestling just once? Maybe we'd like it. What if we stopped hanging out with our scheming cousins? But God chose us, and so here we are, adults in adult bodies, dressed up in cheap wigs, stuffed into unicorn costumes. There's a reason God had to command us to be fruitful and multiply. Hanukkah and Purim, latkes and hamantashen. We think about how close our people came to dying, and we stress eat over the memory. We say we love these foods, but then we eat them only once a year. Do we claim to like sushi, but then wait for the month of Adar before ordering a tray of maki rolls for takeout? Latkes and hamantashen, hamantashen and latkes. As a food group, they're brown. The basic recipes remind us of our grandmothers and of the shtetl, or Florida, a gay-hating shtetl with alligators. One dish claims that poppy seeds are a delicacy. The other is 25% onion by weight. We prepare these foods with our families because no restaurant wants to make them for us. These are the feast foods of our scattered tribe. Latkes and Hamantaschen, which one is worse? Or which one is better, if you'd like to phrase the question like a Gentile? Our clergy and temple leadership resolved to find the answer. Well, most of our temple leadership. After hearing about the plan for this Purim debate, Larry Solomon turned in his resignation to the board of directors. Larry survived 12 years of our Meshuggahs, but like Moses in the Pharaoh's land, he knew when to make a quick exit. Don't let the Red Sea hit you on the way out, Larry. Anyway, our clergy met and prayed, and after meeting and praying, which, by the way, are the only two things that get done in a Reform synagogue, minus the praying, after that, they identified two youngish members of our local Jewish community, performers known for their wit, their social smarts, and their philosophical insights into our shared Jewish experience. That's what we call comics, by the way, when there's not enough beer and barf on the floor. And then our two esteemed rabbis put out the call for a sagacious judge, an arbiter known for his standing in this community, for his Jewish learning, for his Solomonic righteousness. And when that combo turned down the gig, the clergy called in the clowns. Seriously, Mount Zion is thrilled to welcome Elise Colt and Max Hornstein to our inaugural Purim debate. And for the younger people in the audience, inaugural means something you never do again. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's debate. I'm going to run down the ground rules here really quick. You're hearing it for the first time, too, so listen closely. Here's how it's going to work. Remember the policy debate rules from your high school debate team. Resolved. We're not going to do that. The debate, which should take somewhere between 45 and 370 minutes, will involve 5 rounds. Round 1, opening statements. Round 2, cross-examination. That's cross-X for those of us who didn't date in high school. Round 3, the visual round. Round 4, audience questions. Round 5, the speed round. Round 6, closing arguments. I will be scoring each round, and at the end, I'll ask you, the congregation, to clap for the winner. This isn't January 6th, and the mob won't decide. The winner will be named by the biggest mensch in the room, Larry Solomon. Larry, if you're not here, you better find your way in. Okay, so without any more nonsense from me, let's leave it to the professionals. Max and Elise, if you would be so kind as to deliver your opening statements. Max, you drew the short straw. You were up first. Elise, you'll be up second.
Keep it going for Michael, everybody. Let him hear it. Thanks for having me. I had to do some research about Purim because I grew up at Temple Israel, so they didn't really teach us anything over there. That's how you get them on your side first, at least. My fellow Jews, we are at a defining moment in our people's history. Anti-Semitism is on the rise, again. Fewer and fewer of our youth associate with our great faith tradition. And most importantly, every year we are forced to suffer the dry, brittle cookie known as the Hamantaschen. My people, while our current challenges are many, I'm here to tell you there is a better way. Thank you. There is a way for us as a people to celebrate our triumphs, to look to a past in which we stood up to our oppressors as a unified force for good. What I am talking about, of course, is Hanukkah and the latke. The humble potato with oil is the only way to celebrate our past and secure a safe and thriving Jewish future. My argument is simple. The latke is both superior in taste and in ruach, in spirit. The latke is the symbol of miracles and Jewish might. The Hamantaschen is quite literally the symbol of our oppressor. My friends, the fried potato that can be both sweet and savory is the only Jewish snack worth having. I have seen latkes served year-round at the delicatessen. I have seen Jew and Gentiles alike enjoy this tasty treat. And most importantly, Adam Sandler never wrote a song about Purim. Hanukkah and latkes are the cornerstone of modern Jewish culture. They have defined the American Jewish experience for generations. And do they hurt our tummy sometimes? Of course. But we're Jews. What doesn't hurt our tummy sometimes, okay? Suck it up. Take a Tums. Come on. My opponents will say that eating the hats of our enemies is supposed to make us feel triumphant over those who tried to vanquish us. And while that may be true, they didn't have to make the Hamantaschen taste like an actual hat. And what Miss Cole and her ilk seem to constantly miss is that no one, absolutely no one, actually likes Hamantaschen. A recent survey done by the Pew Research Center found that 99% of young Jews find Hamantaschen to be so gross they would rather read Talmud than eat it. And that same study found that 7 out of 10 Jews called Hamantaschen blech. This should be evident in the fact that the most popular flavor of Hamantaschen is poppy seed, a thing that no one eats ever. Even at a shiva, the poppy seed bagels are the only thing that's left over. Your main ingredient is so bad that Jews, people who are famous for eating their feelings, won't even eat it when they're sad. Miss Cole, simply put, you are out of touch. You represent an establishment that no longer speaks for the majority of this community. You have force-fed us your lies and your disgusting cookies for far too long, and we, the people, have had enough. The question I pose before you tonight, Mount Zion, is simple, one that has been asked of us time and time again. Which side are you on? This is the most adorable heckle I've ever gotten in my entire life. Are you on the side of choking hazards for the few or amazing fried goodness for the many? Thank you.
Is this on? Okay, there we go. Good people of St. Paul, welcome to the great 2022 Latke versus Hamantaschen debate. I'd like to, first of all, welcome and congratulate Max Hornstein on a great opening speech, debating a pregnant woman about food. It's the very definition of that precious border between brave and stupid. I use the word debate loosely. It's really more of a formality as we prepare to celebrate what is clearly the more meaningful of the two holidays associated with these culinary delights. But on behalf of myself and my gracious proponents, I want to wish Mr. Hornstein the best of luck in swaying even a single swing voter, because he's got quite a lot of persuading to do if we are going to overlook the obvious atrocities inherent in latke making. First of all, there is the latke industry's unapologetic oil dependency. Not to mention allegations of foreign potato acquisition. But what can you expect from a holiday that isn't even in the Torah? This lack of representation in our sacred text further extends to the exclusively binary and polarized topping choice of either sour cream or applesauce. Not every condiment fits neatly into one box or the other, Mr. Hornstein. And in the year 5782, I think we need to be a little more open-minded and inclusive. Which is why Hamantaschen are clearly the superior Jewish food. The magic of the Hamantaschen is threefold. I knew you'd be there with me on it. They came from the book of Esther, which is actually in the Torah. They are not dependent on oil or foreign potatoes. And what they are filled with is love, whatever flavor that may be, even if it's poppy seed. Latkes and latke lovers don't care about your sodium intake or your cholesterol levels. So take it from me, a real Jewish mother. The future lies in our support of all the Hamantaschen. Thank you, Mount Zion.
Thank you so much, Max and Elise. We're going to now move to the cross-examination round. I'll be asking both candidates, debaters, one question. They will both get a chance to answer it. Are we ready? Yeah. Elise, you will go first. Matzah, the perfect pogrom food. Cooks fast, packs flat. It's like IKEA furniture that way. You can ship it anywhere. So, the next time we as Jews need to make a speedy exit, pulling a Larry Solomon, as we call it here at Mount Zion, which makes a better escape food? Elise.
I'm going to stick with Hamantaschen because the variety of fillings will provide us with different tiers of the food pyramid with which to sustain ourselves on the road. Can't do that with potatoes and onions, just one, it's just potatoes and onions. That's it.
Max?
Oh, Elise, you set me up so nicely. Potatoes and onions are what have fed our people since, like, forever. That's the only thing we eat. For you to rag on potatoes and onions like that, that's, I mean, in the house of God, that's brutal. But I will say this. I think latkes are better for the escape for two reasons. One, the fillings, or so you're going to go to every store in town to try to buy apricot spread. Everyone's going to know the Jews are leaving. They're going to know we're trying to leave. Second of all, we all got potatoes and onions on the ready. Like I said, it's the only thing we eat. And you got a bunch of hot oil, you can just kind of throw it at a Cossack if you need to. It's a defense also. So, I rest my case.
Elise, do you want to counter? He got the word Cossack in there, and that's a strong one.
I'm just picturing soggy latkes in the bottom of a backpack. Do you have a kindergartner that you have to schlep along with your latkes? I don't think so. Cookies, it's the way to go.
Crumbs.
Okay, before this gets ugly. Next question. During the high holidays, this room is packed back to the stained glass. But honestly, the box office for these holidays could be brisker. I think we all agree that the Hanukkah and Purim stories aren't going to win over the new audiences without a 10-episode limited Disney Plus series. Pitch me your production, plot lines, talent, soundtrack. Go. Max, you're up.
Okay, I'm thinking Lin-Manuel Miranda for the music. I'm thinking Judah Maccabee will be, just the only thing that's coming to mind is Mel Gibson, but that won't work. Who's hip? Who's now? Who's really with it? Timothy Chalamet is Judah Maccabee. And is there a love interest in the Hanukkah story? Clergy? No. Jerusalem is the love interest. And the hit song will be Light One Candle. Thank you. From the audience, from the cheap seats. Thank you. Directed by Ron Howard.
Remember?
Thank you. Do I get to take this one now? All right. So I'm thinking, obviously, Gal Gadot as Queen Esther. Yes, Wonder Woman. There's no reason not to have Wonder Woman also be Wonder Woman. Soundtrack, I'm going to go with something a little more fun. I'm thinking Motley Crue, AC/DC, get a little rock on our Purim story, because we actually won that one. And then, of course, directed by, who's the guy that did 16 Candles? John Hughes. For a little tenderness. So you got to have balance. That's what I think. And the key score will be gonna knock your hat off. That's
it. It's just called "I'm Gonna Knock Your Hat Off."
Yeah. Yep. And
Can you sing a bar?
I can't.
The
no.
people want you to sing a bar.
I'm a little under the weather. No.
Whoa.
We'll save it. Just, you know what? All you need to know is that Gal Gadot is gonna be she's the front woman of that, because. Yep.
All right. Yeah. It's better. Yeah. That was good.
Awesome. Okay, are we ready for the visual round?
Please. Yeah.
Visual round. God help us, visual round. Let's do it. Okay.
Oh,
so
Mel Gibson's gonna play Haman.
Oh, that was you stole that.
It was right there. It was right there.
It's more of a stretch for him to do Judah Maccabee, but it's fine.
Oh, are you guys okay? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put these images on screen. You guys might want to come around, or you can see them.
We can
again,
see him.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So, question number 1. Is it good for the Jews?
Okay.
Here we see the effect. Here we see the effect of too many cookies. Would you like to talk as a people of one God but many medical specialists? Why either your food is less bad for the Jews or his food is worse for the Jews?
I'll start with this one. I think ham and tashin, because they are not as widely available. I know Max used that as a point to say that you could go to any delicatessen and get a latke. You can't. We can't just run out and get ham and tashin whenever we want. We have to put in the labor of actually making them. So I think ending up like a Cookie Monster here, just choking on a pile of gluttony, is unlikely. It's unlikely, and I think there's also a temptation to use substitutions when it comes to latkes as well, like French fries, which is cheating. So I think overall, ham and tashin, because they are easier to have in moderation.
Max, would you like to talk about this slide, or do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, no, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would like to comment on that, actually. First of all, I want to commend you because the media usually takes like a pro-Hamantashen bias, especially when it comes to health issues. So I really appreciate you just being straight down the middle with that one. I think a lot of people on paper are going to say that latkes are worse for you, which I understand because of like the grease and all of that. I get it. But ultimately, what latkes give you over Hamantashen is, like I said, the connection to that fighting spirit of the Maccabees. And Hamantashen are just crumbly, gross cookies. So nobody's going to eat that many anyway. So I guess you are right on that, but it's because they're worse. So.
Okay, next I have a shot from a training video that we usually show here at Mount Zion around the Hanukkah holiday. Max, you're going to get to go with this one first.
Yeah. Well, there it is, the pro-Hamantashen bias. There it is, right on cue. Yeah. Look, I don't know what you want me to say. Yeah, there's more grease in latkes. They're also better. What do you know what, I'm not even going to dignify this with a response.
Would just like to point out, now that Max has officially choked on on something other than a hamantashen. But for the son of a rabbi, you should have had a better response for this one. That's what happens. That's clearly what happens. It's called cardiac arrest. That's from too many latkes.
Are we ready for the next slide?
Well, hang
Yeah.
on, actually, one second. Two things. First of all, that picture is from someone at one of my shows when I'm killing, okay? So just take note. Second of all, yes, I am the son of a rabbi. It's nice to be up here actually entertaining on a bima for once.
Okay. Next slide. Oh, no, that wasn't supposed to be there. Sorry. Wrong slideshow. Okay. Is it secretly goyish? Are you ready? Is it secretly a goyish food?
I'll jump in. I'd like to start
Would you
this.
like to go with this one first, please, Elise?
Yeah. Latkes are because people will eat. You can go to a diner and get potato pancakes, and have them filled with all kinds of stuff, and the goys eat them. They do. They have no idea. If you called it a latke, they wouldn't know what hit them. Now, nobody who's not Jewish is going to go looking for hamantashen. You know what I mean? There's no secretly goyish. No, you either know what Haman's hat looked like or you don't. It's ours, right? It's ours. Let's get a round of applause for hamantashen, right? It is the Jewiest food.
I see sevens of people not clapping for that, so just so you know.
Max, do you have anything you want to say about this one?
Yeah, look, do Gentiles know about latkes? Sure, fine, okay? They do. It's because it's better. It's because it tastes better, all right? You know what else you can put on a latke that you can't put on hamantashen? Pastrami, all right? That's the best Jewish food there is. Put that on a hamantashen. Put that on a hamantashen. I didn't even ask them to clap, and they did it.
Is that your bumper sticker? Okay. I do see some parents here, so I know a lot.
But hang on,
of you-
no, hang on. I think we had one more time. Done. Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
Hey, we
Okay,
will
this
be
is gonna
getting
get
to
out
the
of
au-
hand
will
if we let-
We will be getting to the audience questions in a second. Just wait, hang on. You're going to have your moment, people. Okay. So many of you, like me, are parents of children here, and you know we do get a lot of email from the Mount Zion Education Department, which I appreciate. But I actually opened one of them up, and I was really surprised because it had kind of a link through to the curriculum, and it wasn't exactly what I was thinking, and that's where I got this image. Apparently, this is what our kids are learning. So you may notice here, that's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and that is the shield. They call that the shield, and it explains kind of the relationship between the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Can you see it? I'm sorry. Can we move that just a little bit? Yeah, okay. So what you may notice, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but unfortunately it got edited out, that looks kind of like something to me. So I was just wondering, Elise, do you kind of think maybe the hamantashen has an identity that you haven't been fully aware of before?
No, I don't. Here's what I expected you to pull up, because everybody knows this is the Holy Triangle. Eretz Yisrael. That's what should have been on that slide. That's what should have been on that slide. Now, somebody who grew up with Catholics, I can tell you, this image doesn't make any more sense to us than it does to them. Which is why we just eat it. We just make them into triangles, and then bite off a corner and eat it. Eretz Yisrael forever, hamantashen forever.
Max, as someone who studied a lot, I think of Catholicism growing up.
Yeah, me? Yeah. No, that was, you can't compete with that. That was actually really great job, Elise. I did not know how you were going to do that. You crushed it. Great job.
Okay, so we're done with the visual round. We are going to be moving on to the audience question round. If you guys have questions about hamantashen and latkes or other things for this debate, if you would raise your hand, I will come around with the microphone and you will have your moment. Oh, I got Benny here.
So, what is the best topping or filling for your chosen food?
Okay.
Yeah, fantastic question. Thank you so much. It's also great to see young people involved in politics. I really appreciate that. For me, it's sour cream, hands down. Who booed sour cream? Sour cream is the best, hands down. I'll tell you why. In the Catskills, what they would do is they would come around to your table with a tub of sour cream. It's our tradition, it's our people, it's in our blood, it's in our cholesterol.
It's a good response, Max. I think quite a few members in the audience are just a little too young to know what the Catskills are. Actually, I'm surprised that you knew. I'll be honest. The filling, here's why I appreciate this question. Thank you so much. We can put whatever we want. You can do apricot, raspberry, poppy seed, chocolate, dates, and walnuts. Whatever you want to do goes in there. I think we should start making savory hamantaschen. You know, like the Great British Baking Show where they take a project and they just put a little twist on it? I say we can put whatever we want in our hamantaschen because it's time.
Okay, do we have another question? Here we go.
Can you comment about what your house smells like about 5 hours after preparing your chosen food?
A presidential question there.
Thank you. Obviously, hamantaschen are the winners, right? My house smells like cookies. It smells like cookies. It smells like butter and sugar and love, and usually a little bit of chocolate because I like the chocolate hamantaschen. Yeah, it's pleasant, and then it lingers a little bit in the house, and we get to smell it as we drift off to sleep and have sweet dreams about destroying our enemies.
Fair enough. Who hasn't wanted to live in a McDonald's from time to time? Who among us hasn't walked into one and been like, yeah, I'll put a bed right there. So, with mine, you can do that.
Next question.
How does your food appeal to the youth?
Yes.
I cannot believe that wasn't a plant. Great question. They're cookies, right? Kids love cookies. I think you can go either way on potatoes, either way on fried foods. But one of the first words that a kid learns, even in American Sign Language, they're learning ASL, cookie, right? That's it, kids, I think. And because you get to choose your filling. It's not like a Fig Newton that just has fig. You put whatever you want in there. And as a mother who's not said no to a single thing my child has asked for, I promise you that's true. Max?
Yeah. I feel like I know what my diet was when I was a kid, and it was almost entirely potatoes. So I feel like most kids don't like apricots. Kids don't like that. It's gross. It's a fruit. That's disgusting. They want starch and brown stuff, and that's potatoes with sour cream.
One more question, anybody?
We got a lot of pressure. You're the last.
Can you comment on the danger involved with cooking your food?
To start?
A very safe people, the Jews. That's a great question.
Yeah, look, high risk, high reward, I think, with anything. Especially, and just be smart, be safe, don't be a nerd about it, and you'll be fine. Just be cool and fry up some potatoes. Kids shouldn't do it, though. Don't. Make sure there's an adult present.
I'd like to point out this is the same man who claimed you could use that hot oil on the road as a weapon against anyone who's following you. An oven will not spatter or spit in your face. The heat doesn't come out unless you open the door. Yes, you have to watch your arms when you slide the cookie tray in and out. Overall, I think it's much safer to make hamantaschen, which doesn't mean that my child is allowed anywhere near the stove, but he's also not going to get a grease burn. I'm also not going to start a grease fire with my oven.
Just keep a wet towel nearby.
That sounds like the opposite of good advice.
Yeah, I don't actually know how to put out a grease fire.
I don't
Does
either.
anybody?
Okay, I think we're ready for our closing statements. Who went with the first opening statement? Okay, so you'll get the first closing statement, Elise.
In summation, I'd like to thank everyone for your participation, for your laughter, for your involvement. Thank you very much for being here. And I know that when you consider what you would like to have represent us as a people, it will come down to our holy triangle. The freedom in our choice of fillings. And the smell of home-baked cookies, and that you will not be swayed by oil dependency, foreign potatoes, or living in a McDonald's. When it is time to cast your ballot, I ask you to uphold the sacred traditions in the book of Esther, which is in the Torah, and vote hamantaschen tonight. Thank you very much.
You know, when we started this campaign, I was just a kid from Minneapolis that had a crazy idea that every single Jewish holiday could have a latke. Called it Latke Care for All. That deserved to bomb. That was fine. That was good. And now, because of countless hours from our volunteers and a lot of money from the oil lobby, I am here in front of you today asking for your support, asking you to pick the clearly better food. Thank you.
Okay. So I think that was the first debate in history that it didn't end up with the phrase, God bless America, which seems appropriate for a synagogue, right? The one place you wouldn't thank God. Okay, Larry, you will be the judge of the winner of the debate. First, can we please thank our awesome and delightful guests who came and made the night better for us. Max Hornstein. Elise Cole. Larry, where are you? I'm giving you the mic next. Did he leave? Oh, he's a genius. Okay, are we going to have to end it with a cheer? Are we going to end it with a clap?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes. If you believe the winning position was forwarded by Mr. Max Hornstein for the latke, please clap. If you have been swayed by Elise Cole, I should point out, former Mount Zion member, not that that matters, that she and her hamantaschen won the debate. Would you please clap?
Standing. He said, I didn't even tell him to do that.
Go back to Minneapolis, kid. It's been a tough night. Thank you so much, everyone. This was a blast.
Let's hear it for the Brown Food Group. And let's hear it for Michael Tortorello moderating. Excellent job. And I have to say that Elise, formerly Ejade, her father, David Ejade, helped design the lights of this sanctuary back when we renovated, and he would probably be very upset with me the way I was using the lights tonight. Didn't light you up well enough, but welcome back. And for everyone who's here tonight, we have fresh, hot latkes for you as you leave tonight. Oops, just kidding. Hamantaschen! Thank you all for being here. This has been a wonderful Purim. Take some hamantaschen with you on the way out. Chag Sameach.